kids just need to be taught how to manage themselves on them. It's not that they need someone to come down hard on them, it's that they need someone to help them realize that when they're playing a game in class, instead of paying attention, they really are hurting themselves.
Something I found to be challenging was managing what kids were doing on their Chromebooks. Everyone, has a hard time staying on task, so it's tough to manage that. And another thing that was hard was trying to make everything electronic, like notes and things like that. And some kids would choose to type their notes, but not everyone types at the same speed. And so how to manage that without calling a kid out, or just making everything kind of Chromebook friendly but not depending on them, is something to keep in mind.
As a challenge is the classroom management with the Chromebooks in general. Having multiple tabs open with games and monitoring that and making sure they're on the right websites that they're supposed to be on. I don't have a good answer for that. Sometimes it seems like that's what we're doing, is constantly just monitoring that versus checking in on the learning process. So it's something that we all need to work through and kind of share what works well for all of us so we can come to a solution there.
Not everything is well assessed or well practiced by multiple choice. The kids really, really love Kahoot or quizzes, and they'll ask for it every day. And for some things it's really useful, but it doesn't help my kids learn how to spell, for example. So I haven't found the right tool to kind of gamify the spelling part yet. But having the conversation openly with the kids about, like, yeah, Kahoot is fun, but it's not good for everything, I think helps them start to refine their own study practices, which can be really powerful.
Knowing what I know now, depending on the class, if they're easily distracted, I think you need a balance between being able to look up on the screen in their computers, and if you have kids who are instantly distracted and might go into gaming, then pushing out a physical copy is very important.
Thing that I found was challenging with Chromebooks this year was when giving assessments through Chromebooks, students were using the Google tool that was inside of the documents, which was something that we hadn't necessarily thought of before. We had thought of students going outside and using the internet, but inside of Google Documents, they can use a Google tool, and that still is technically cheating. And so we had to call out multiple students for cheating inside of their Google Documents, for looking up vocabulary or using that Google tool and using the internet while taking assessments. So that was something that we hadn't thought of prior to students taking assessments in Google.